Alright guys, so today I am working on a 1997 Honda Civic, and I'm going to show you how to replace the wiper switch here on the passenger side of the column. These are notorious for going bad, and usually they break when you pull them back, and mine's obviously broken here and makes the wipers act crazy and whatnot. So this will work on 1996 through 2000 Honda Civics, and it could probably also work for many other Hondas, including Integras, 92 through 95 Civics. They're generally pretty much the same switch here. So first, what you need to do, my car does not have an airbag on the driver's side. If you do have an airbag, I would recommend just taking your negative battery cable off of the battery, just in case. You don't want to snag a wire or something by accident, especially if you haven't really gotten in there before. It's not too hard, but I do recommend you do that. First things first, you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver, and you may need a flathead. I grabbed one just in case, so go ahead and grab those two things. And first, we have 3 screws. One here, these are on the bottom of the steering column. There's one here, one on the left side, and there's one in the center down at the bottom here. So you're gonna have to remove those. I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, and after you remove those 3 screws, you're gonna have to separate these 2 pieces here. So you have your top piece of your steering column cover, and then you have your bottom piece, and there's kind of a way that you actually have to do this. You can't just pry them straight off or you'll break these tabs that are in here. And so you have these tabs, and what you're gonna do, if I can focus, you're gonna have to press in. So push in here on the bottom portion, and really you're gonna have to kind of finagle with it a little bit, and then you just pull down while you're pushing in, and that will release the tabs. And on this side, it's pretty much the same thing, and it just comes off there. So you want to grab your key out of that ignition, and there you have your bottom piece there. And take your top piece off. You're gonna have to drop the steering wheel down, and I just recommend going ahead and dropping that all the way down there. And there's your top piece. Alright, and here's your switch. And really, it's pretty simple. It's just 2 screws, Phillips head. You're gonna take those out, and then you've got 2 plugs that you have to unplug here. And really, it's simple. I'm gonna go ahead and take those screws out and show you real quick. Alright, once you have your 2 screws out, this is probably where your flathead is gonna come into play. It may be, kind of stuck in there, so if you want to just grab, get into a little groove here or something, and it should just kind of pry itself out there. Alright, and there you are. So you have your 2 plugs here. Alright. Very easy. Just push those tabs in and pull back on the plug, and it'll come right out. Alright, so I went ahead and unplugged. Here is the old switch. And what I did was I bought a brand new switch. You can really probably find a lot of used ones out there, but they're just known for going bad so easily. I wouldn't recommend getting a used one, because you might end up doing the job again, a few months down the road. So I went ahead and bought this brand new one. I got this one off of eBay for like 40 bucks. It's not exactly the highest quality, but I figured it'll work for quite a while, and it was so cheap, so I went ahead and got it. And really it's just a reverse process. You just plug those plugs back in, and then kind of just set it back in its groove and put your screws back in. So I'm going to go ahead and plug these back in real quick. And once you've plugged them in, before you put everything back together, it's probably a good idea that you test it out. Make sure everything's working properly. Alright, so got our intermediate and our middle and our high, and it's working. And when you go down with it, alright, that works. And I would test out the sprayer, but I just washed my car, so I'm not going to fool with that. So I'm going to go ahead and slide it back in here. And I'm going to put my screws back in. Okay. Alright, got my screws back in, so all I have to do now is just put the two covers back on the column and put my Phillips head screws back into that, and that'll be it. So, you know, something like this at a dealership or a shop, you know, there's no telling what they're going to really charge you. A lot more than what you can do just buying a switch yourself. And doing it yourself, it only takes about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on, you know, how quickly or whatever you want to do it. So you save yourself a lot of money just doing it this way. I'm sure a switch at Honda costs way more than you want to know. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this back on. Really, when you're putting the covers back together, you shouldn't really have to worry too much about it going back on any special way. Really, taking it apart is the complicated process, getting the cover off. Now I do have to note that there are these little guides. You can see them there, and those are, there's a few of them. So I want to make sure that those go back in their proper positions with the top cover here. So make sure those are lined up. As long as you have those lined up, should just clip right back into place without any issue. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so I went ahead and put the column covers back on, and really it was very easy. You just line up those little guides and get your two clips. There's a clip on that side and a clip on this side that you just line those clips up, line your little guide pins in, and it should just clip right back on. And there you have it. So everything works. No issues at all. And that's it, guys. Have a good one.